Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the highly anticipated 2024 Beat Saber European Championship. In this explainer video, we will go over the major rules and regulations governing the 2024 edition of the European Championship, as well as talk about some of the notable changes that have been implemented for this year's tournament, ensuring an even more thrilling and competitive experience for all participants and spectators. My name is Kadu, and in this video we will go over the tournament format, talk map pools, highlight some changes in the rules from last year, and go over the sign-up process for you and your team. For the full set of rules, please read our rules section of our website before signing up. The 2024 Beat Saber European Championship is a country-based 3v3 tournament, where each team comprises 6 players and a designated team captain, adding an extra layer of strategy and leadership to the gameplay. The tournament is divided into 3 stages of competition: the qualifiers, the Swiss stage, and the playoffs. The qualifier phase is played over 2 weeks, allowing every team the opportunity to showcase their prowess on our qualifier maps. The challenge is clear: set your best scores to secure a spot in the Swiss stage. The top 16 teams will earn their passage to the next section of the competition. The Swiss is played over 2 weeks in April and will go over 5 rounds. All the Swiss matches are played as a best of 5, as the teams will advance through this bracket based on their performance. They will need to acquire 3 match wins to advance to the next stage of the competition. 3 losses means elimination from the tournament. Finally, the tournament converges into the playoff stage, featuring the 8 best teams who have successfully navigated the Swiss bracket. This single elimination bracket, with only best of 7 matches, is played on a single weekend with little time for the teams to prepare their strategy as we move toward that coveted grand final matchup and get ready to crown a champion. Get ready to navigate the diverse mapping landscape of the Beat Saber European Championship as we bring back the same mapping categories that defined last year's tournament. Much like the previous edition, this year's tournament will showcase 5 distinct mapping categories: accuracy, speed, tech, historical, and joker. I'm the joker, baby! It begins in qualifying, where teams will need to showcase their prowess across all 5 categories. It's a test of versatility, ensuring that the participants can conquer all ranges of mapping. As we dive into the Swiss and playoff stages, teams will have the strategic option of picking from these categories. It's about choosing the right battleground to maximize your strengths and exploit your opponent's weaknesses. Note here that the entirety of the Swiss stage is played with the same map pools. Same goes for the playoffs, so there will be 2 separate releases of the tournament pools for the Swiss and playoff stages respectively. Picks and bans will work the same way as last year. Teams can strategically choose one of the 5 categories, injecting a special combination of skill sets into each match. It's not just about how well you play, but also about crafting a winning strategy that keeps your opponents on their toes. Whether you're a precision master, a speed demon, a tech wizard, a history buff, or someone who thrives on surprises, there's a category for everyone. The Beat Saber European Championship is a melting pot of skills, and we can't wait to see which teams rise to the occasion and leave their mark in this year's competition. Now, let's talk about some of the changes from last year's tournament. As you may have already seen, the first change is that the captains will not be allowed to play themselves this year. This will give them more time to focus on strategy and keep their players going strong during the matches. We've also adjusted the way later rounds in the Swiss stage are seeded. The factors that decide matchups will now include the average accuracy difference to the teams you've played against, so no slacking around. We've also increased the size of the Swiss and the playoff map pools by 2 maps each. This will make it harder for teams to target their opponents with specific bans and leaves more room for interesting strategy. The pick ban phase and most of the match procedure will be strictly timed to reduce downtime and delays during the tournament. This requires preparation on our side as well as every team to make sure everyone is on the same page. This may lead to penalties for teams who fail to adhere to these rules. The final big change is that the playoff stage will no longer feature a match for 3rd place. Both semifinals winners will go straight to the grand final. Alright, get your calendars out because here are the key dates you don't want to miss for this year's tournament. Kicking off the action, March is the month to watch, with the deadline for signups and the beginning of the qualifying stage. The Swiss stage dominates the month of April, going from April 6th to the 14th, with the playoff stage taking place on April 20th and 21st. These times are subject to change, but in the unlikely scenario that they do change, we will update you on our social media channels. If you're excited to sign up, here are a few important details you'll want to keep in mind. To play in the Beat Saber European Championship, you need to be able to use mods for Beat Saber. This means that you need to play on Steam or the Quest store with a linked device. Players who cannot mod their game cannot take part. All participants will have to create an account on our website and fill out the necessary information prompts. This step is essential, but creating an account doesn't automatically toss you into the playing field. Each country team will have one captain who signs up separately after being decided on in whatever way you want. This captain has until the roster lock deadline to select their players and add them to the team. And same as last year, the UK is again split up into separate teams. Remember, once these rosters are locked in, there's no turning back. Choose your teammates wisely, captains. For a more detailed look at the rules, please refer to the rulebook on our website where you can find all the needed info about the tournament. You can also join our Discord community and follow us on Twitter for regular updates and announcements in case of changes to these rules. Thank you for watching, and see you in March for EUC 2024.